This video is going to introduce the Explain Everything 3.0 version of Explain Everything app. For those of you that are interested in creating videos for use in an online environment, or if you just want to create presentations and present later in a live environment. It's also, you don't always have to create videos with Explain Everything. I even think students can use it to do a warm-up problem, because it is a whiteboard app where they can write, they can insert text, they can insert images, whatever you choose to use it for. I'm going to click into Explain Everything here. And you can see I use it a lot. I create a lot of videos, especially for math. And whiteboard apps are great for math because I believe that the kids need to see you doing the writing. But these are all the projects that are saved on my Explain Everything app on my iPad. And some are videos and some are just scratching around, or some are just helping my daughters, and we just have the slides of some things that we were working on. I want to talk about the interface here. The original interface, you may have nothing in here yet, but this is to start a brand new project from scratch. This is to start a project from something you've already done, like a PowerPoint or another PDF, or even a Keynote if you're an Apple person. I want to talk about the settings over here. Most of these settings I leave default, so if you want to really get technical with everything, you can go through these and see the different things that you have. Like on export, you can export just your slides as PDFs for use in another program somewhere. So you can change the quality of the PDF. Again, I leave everything default. You got some recording options there, what type of recording and fade, different things like that. But the accounts, I think, is something that you may be interested in. Explain Everything does have integration with things like Google Drive and YouTube. You can see that I have already logged into my Google Drive and YouTube account using Explain Everything. That way the app itself can connect directly to these things. If you create a lesson video, a video is very hard to email directly from your iPad. So YouTube is a place to put it, or Google Drive is a place to put it, where you can upload it and get a link to the actual video. That's the reason that you can't email videos, because the size of the video just gets too big. So I'm already logged into my accounts there. And by the way, if you have a Google account, you have a YouTube account, it's the same username and password. But if you want to log into anything else, all you got to do is click on that button there. I click there, and it's going to actually pull up how you log in, and to ask you for your credentials for some of those places where you might have an account. It's definitely something to look at when you're looking at sharing what you're doing on Explain Everything. Importing a project that you already made. When you press this button, like this is a plus project from scratch, but this here, if I click that, I have to be connected to one of these accounts, unless I want to take and begin a project from a photo that's already on my iPad. But let's say I've created something and I want to use it and make a presentation from it. Maybe I have an old PowerPoint or something like that where I would want to create the presentation. So I'm going to go to Google Drive, where I have a lot of my documents uploaded in the cloud. If you have a Gmail account, you have Google Drive. You just got to find it when you get to google.com. I'm going to click into Google Drive, and I actually have a Keynote, which is the Mac version of PowerPoint. So if you have PowerPoints there, this would work also. But it's not going to allow, it's going to allow you to create from certain types of files. You can see certain files it's not going to allow you to create something from. Okay, but a Keynote is similar to a PowerPoint, or presentation notes is a PDF, or even Word documents work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this. This is a really long Keynote. It's like 20, 30 some slides. I can't remember. And I'm going to click on it. And it's going to take a second or two to load it. And it's going to load that in. And this is what my project looks like, and it just gives me a scroll of what my project looks like. Okay, so I have to actually click the choose button up here to import it. And this may take a minute. It's loading the document into Explain Everything. And it's actually loading it in and breaking it up into the same slides that I had made my project with. Now, this is a Keynote project with animations and things like that. You're going to lose the animations. So if you have PowerPoint and you have the text sliding in from left to right or something like that, then you're not going to get those animations going in to Explain Everything, but you will get each slide. So it should finish processing here, hopefully. It's going a little bit quicker now. It looks like it's doing it twice, but it's pretty smart in the way that it does it. It's almost done here. I wanted to do a shorter one, but this was the only one I had in that account. So now if I look, this is the Explain Everything interface, which I'll get to in a minute. It has 15 slides. So if I click down here, I can almost see it in the form of a PowerPoint. Okay, and where my slides are. And that's one thing I like about this app that's better than a lot of the other whiteboard apps, is it shows you where you're going. You know, as a presenter, you want to see where you're going. You want to see how your slides are organized and things like that. Now, sometimes you lose, you know, the way the image may look here and there. It's not perfect, but it does a pretty good job if you have a pretty simple presentation going in there. So I'll get into the blank user interface in the next video. This was just an introduction of how to begin a project and how to Explain Everything set up to connect to some of the things that you might use to get information.